You know those people who argue about everything? Who need to be right all the time, even when no one's really listening anymore? Yeah, that kind of fight has a name: ego. And believe it or not, most of life's battles aren't won by those who shout the loudest, but by those who know how to wait in silence. It might sound unfair, right? But that's how the game really works. A lot of people lose everything: time, energy, relationships, money, just because they can't let go of being right. And the saddest part? While they're busy tearing each other apart, there's always someone watching from a distance, ready to take what was theirs. Is it cruel? Maybe, but it's real. And if you don't learn how to spot those traps, you could end up being just another one who fought hard and walked away with nothing. This video is an invitation, a wake-up call, a challenge, because maybe, just maybe, you're wasting your energy fighting the wrong war. And worse, missing your chance to act like the fox in the fable. The one who doesn't fight, doesn't yell, doesn't show off, but always walks away with what matters. And the best part? No one even sees it coming. What she did, you can do too. And here, I'll show you how. But fair warning, this isn't about cheap tricks. What you're going to learn here is how to turn the game around using emotional intelligence, clarity, and strategy. So if you're ready to stop falling into ego traps and start winning with a clear mind, stick with me till the end. Because what's coming next might just change the way you approach every conflict. You know that kind of fight where neither side wants to back down because each one is convinced they're right? That's where the danger lives. People dive into heated battles, at work, at home, in friendships, just so they won't lose. But the truth is, most of the time, that fight just wears both sides down. And the most ironic part? While they're tearing each other apart, someone on the outside is watching and seizing the opportunity no one else noticed. That's exactly what happened in Aesop's fable, The Lion, the Bear, and the Fox. The lion and the bear found a deer at the same time. Neither wanted to give up the hunt. They fought with such fury that both collapsed, exhausted. And who got the prize? The fox, who didn't even break a sweat. She just waited for the right moment and made her move. A classic example of how cleverness can beat strength. And in real life, this plays out every day. Two business partners fight for control of the company and end up losing it to a quieter competitor. Two siblings argue over an inheritance and forget what really matters, the bond they once had. Couples go head-to-head over who's more right, and in the process, lose respect for each other. And in the middle of all that pointless drama, there's always a fox, someone more centered, more calculated, more focused. The real key is learning to recognize when a disagreement stops being strategic and becomes just another ego-driven battlefield. If you're in the middle of a fight like that today, pause and ask yourself, am I fighting for something that truly matters, or just trying not to lose? Because honestly, while you're busy waging this war, the fox might already have her eyes on what was meant to be yours. Sometimes, deep down, you know it's time to stop. But you don't. Because ego speaks louder than reason. It's that inner voice that says, you're just gonna let this go? You're gonna look weak? And boom, you're in fight mode even when there's nothing valuable on the line. And the worst part? The more emotionally involved you get, the more blind you become to what you're actually losing. In the fable, the lion and the bear didn't even stop to think if the deer was still there, or if the fight was even worth it. Their thirst for victory was so intense, they ended up destroying each other. The fox, smart and calm, simply waited. And once both of them had collapsed, she made her move. Now think about it. How many times, out of pride, do we stay in arguments that have already stolen our peace, our focus, even our sleep? That behavior is common in professional environments. Two co-workers fight over leading a project, forgetting the deadline is slipping and the team is completely lost. In relationships, it happens when one person refuses to apologize just so they won't look weak. And in that emotional tug-of-war, love quietly slips down the drain. All because no one wants to lose. But you know what the truth is? Those who learn to silence the ego gain an advantage most people don't even dream of: emotional intelligence. And with it, you stop falling into these traps. Instead of fighting every battle, you start choosing the right ones. The ones worth your time, your energy, your peace. Because in the end, the truly smart person doesn't go to war just to make a point, they observe and act when the time is right. Here's something a lot of people still don't get: the loudest voice doesn't always win. Sometimes, the one who truly wins is the one who watches quietly. While two people tear each other apart, the third is thinking. And in this world full of impulsive, impatient people, thinking is practically a superpower. Thinkers see past the smoke. Thinkers wait for the right moment. And when they strike, no one understands how they got so much with so little. In Aesop's fable, the fox didn't join the fight. She didn't even expose herself. She just watched the two giants fall, and the moment the field was clear, she stepped in and took what she wanted. No sweat, no wounds, no damage. That's not luck, that's strategy. It's knowing that sometimes the smartest move is staying still until the moment favors you. How many times has this happened in your own life? You pushed, you ran, you stressed, and in the end, someone else showed up calmly and took the win? In meetings, business deals, emotional conflicts, it happens all the time. Some people act in the heat of the moment. Others wait for things to cool down and then take what's left, with dignity and with profit. The secret here isn't being fake or manipulative. It's being smart. It's knowing that instead of fighting for scraps in the chaos, you can prepare to harvest quietly when the dust settles. While others shout, you listen. While others attack, you strategize. Because in life, those who speak less and think more almost always come out on top. Some people still believe winning is about being the strongest, the loudest, the most aggressive. But that's not how the world works anymore, if it ever did. These days, the ones who get what they want aren't the ones who push hardest, but those who lead with grace. Power doesn't come from yelling, it comes from influence. And influence is earned through wisdom, not force. In the fable, the lion and the bear had everything: strength, presence, courage. But they also had impatience, pride, and impulsiveness. And that's what brought them down. The fox, on the other hand, had no muscles, but she had vision. She used the weaknesses of others as a bridge to her own victory. And in the end, what mattered wasn't the size of her claws, but the sharpness of her mind. This applies so clearly in leadership. Leaders who yell, push, and dominate are eventually ignored or avoided. But those who listen, observe, and act at the right time, they transform teams and earn deep respect. Same goes for relationships. Those who try to win through shouting lose trust. Those who listen and act with calmness earn space in the other person's heart. Real strength lies in knowing when not to use it. And more importantly, in having other options. Being subtle isn't weakness. It's strategy. It's understanding that you don't have to prove yourself to everyone all the time. Sometimes, you just need to wait, because others will end up taking themselves down. And when that happens, the stage will be set for those with true wisdom. Now tell me this: how many times have you fought for something only to feel like you lost more than you gained? Sometimes, the victory we chase isn't worth the toll it takes on us. And even worse, while you're caught up in the heat of the battle, you might be missing the golden opportunity that's been right next to you the whole time. Silent, subtle, but powerful. Ever thought about that? Maybe it's time to change how you deal with the conflicts in your life. What if, instead of reacting on impulse, you took a deep breath and simply watched more? What if your greatest win comes not from charging into the battlefield, but from seeing the whole game from above? What's stopping you from doing that? Pride? Fear? Or just the habit of fighting over everything? Because, let's be honest, the truly wise don't win the fight, they never enter it, and still come out victorious. So tell me in the comments, what useless battle do you need to walk away from today? In what area of your life will you start acting with more strategy and less emotion? I want to hear it. And if this video sparked something in you, if it opened your eyes, or gave you that little slap of awareness, go ahead and hit subscribe now, turn on notifications, and come learn more with me. Because emotional intelligence is a skill. And here, we train it together.